Hey boys, hope you're good. Get comfy, sit down nice and comfy. This one's a little bit longer than the other ones. We've got Gus and Nipper by Rodney Pepe or Pepe. I'm not very good with pronouncing names, as you know. And if we zoom in here, whose name's that? Your mum can read it to you. Gus and Nipper. For Tatiana. Gus had just fallen out of a train. His mother warned him, "Gus, don't lean out too far," but he did. And now he was in the middle of nowhere. You can see his mum. Oh no. Gus was hungry, and when he went in search of food, but times were hard, and so were the people. "Shoo, shoo, go away, cat," they cried. They even threw their garbage at him. Gus breakfasted on an old fishbone. "If only I could catch a big fat mouse," he said to himself, but they were always too quick for him. He wished his mum and dad were there to catch one for him. All day long, Gus ambled along. He didn't know which way to turn or what to do. Lunch was a peanut and nothing more. Gus had a stroke of luck when he found an old backpack. Night was falling and so was the rain, but soon he made himself comfortable. Suddenly, something moved beneath him. Oh no, what could it be? "Meow!" he yelled in fright. "This place is taken," a tiny voice squeaked. Two beady little eyes met Gus's gaze. What are you?" he asked. A skinny little mouse darted out, and Gus grabbed him. "Got you!" he cried. "I've caught a mouse." No, pussycat, not fair." No, pussycat, not fair," said the mouse. "You see, this is my home." "Pity," said Gus, eyeing up his captive. "You're the best meal I've seen all day. And if you're that hungry," said the mouse, "you can share my cheese." Gus didn't like cheese much. Lixxie, move out the way, Mummy's trying to read. This story is a bit like our house, hey? "If you're that hungry," said the mouse, "you can share my cheese." Gus didn't like cheese much, but since the mouse wasn't on the menu, he agreed. "I'm Nipper," said the mouse. "I'm Gus," said Gus. And he told Nipper all about losing his family. "You're a waif like me," said Nipper. "You can sleep here tonight, it's late." "Thanks," said Gus. That's the first friendly words of the day." Soon they were both asleep. Gus awoke to cheerful little grunts and puffs. Oof and oh and eek. Nipper was doing his early morning exercises. "Come on, join in with me," he said. "We must keep fit to outrun the dogs." Soon Gus was jumping up and down and leaping about with Nipper. After all the bending and stretching, pushing and pulling, twisting and turning, he was exhausted. He looks exhausted, doesn't he? "Come on," said Nipper. We'll go and find some breakfast now." As they walked along, Nipper suddenly froze. "What's the matter?" asked Gus. "There's a big dog," warned Nipper. But Gus couldn't see or hear any dog. "There," said Nipper, pointing to the zigzag sign. "Sharp teeth. That means big bad dog." "Who made the sign?" asked Gus. "Waifs and strays like us," explained Nipper. "It's our sign language." Wow, that's clever, isn't it? Suddenly they heard barking. It grew louder and nearer. A fierce dog jumped over the fence. "Run for it, Pussycat," yelled Nipper. Gus ran but was soon out of breath. "Run ahead, Nipper," he panted. I'll catch up with you." "Ha, the dog'll catch up with you," reported Nipper, "and eat you up." Gus was really puffing now. His legs were getting heavier by the second. "Look, I know this dog," said Nipper. "He can't make a quick turn." "Neither can I," panted Gus. "Yes, you can," insisted Nipper. "Remember our twisting and turning and exercises?" Gus gasped at the thought. Nipper yelled, "Now, Pussycat, up the path, quick!" Once clear of the dog, Gus collapsed, exhausted. "Phew, that was close," he gulped. "Any closer," said Nipper, "and you would have been a dog's dinner." "We haven't had breakfast yet," said Gus. "Ah, yes," Nipper remembered. "We have to go and look for a sign of the cat." "That means a cat lover lives here," explained Nipper. "So it's safe for me to go in," suggested Gus. "Exactly," said Nipper. "You can go in and get breakfast for both of us." "Shall I take your order?" joked Gus. "Cheese, please," said Nipper. While Gus went into the house, Nipper dreamed of cheese. Soft cheese, hard cheese, yellow cheese, blue cheese, any sort of cheese. It seemed Gus was taking ages. Nipper couldn't wait no longer. He peered through the kitchen window, and there was Gus tucking into a plate of sardines. "Enjoying yourself?" asked Nipper. "Are you?" "Oh, he is having a lovely dinner." Gus choked in surprise. He had for one greedy moment forgotten all about Nipper. Just then, the house cat came in to see what was going on. She saw Nipper and was about to pounce. Then Gus sprang at Nipper. He clutched him tightly in his paws. Nipper was terrified. Was Gus not his friend after all? Oh no, the poor little mouse. But he needn't have worried. Gus was hugging him, and he knew he was safe. The house cat walked out, shaking her head in disbelief. A cat protecting a mouse, indeed. Gus was ashamed of his greediness. "I hadn't really forgotten you, Nipper," he said. "I found some lovely golden cheese. Now that's what I call breakfast," said Nipper. "Yum, yum." Oh, that does look like a good breakfast. Gus put out a paw to say goodbye, and a huge tear trickled down his cheek. "I have to go west in search for my family," he said. "West, did you say?" gulped Nipper. "I'm going that way myself." Ah, the end. It's a happy ending. They've both gone to search for his family, and the cat and the mouse are friends after all. And the whole time we've had a cat with us. listening to the story too. Also, a cat that's friends with a mouse, if you remember. And he sat on the Gingerbread Man book, aren't you, Lixxie? So yeah, this book's a bit like my house. Do you think they've drawn a little sign outside the house saying cats allowed here? That's why so many cats turn up for their dinner. I hope you enjoyed the story. Sending lots of love from me, Lixxie, and Thunder. She's out playing. And next we'll probably have this one. Unless you'd like a different one, have a look at the video I did with all the different books. I've still got piles to find. And there's new ones all the time in the local shop. And I can even go to the library. So anything you want, just ask.